The transfer lieutenant James Keller stepped off the transport shuttle and looked around. The air smelled like recycled metal. The walls of Station Arc 17 were cold, gray, and quiet. He had been on many missions before, but this base felt different. He walked toward the command center, holding his duffel bag. No one smiled. No one greeted him. A tall man in a black uniform met him at the entrance. "Lieutenant Keller?" "Yes, sir," James replied. "You've been transferred to Recon Unit 7. Report to Briefing Room 2. Your new partner is already waiting." James frowned. "Partner? I was told this was a solo recon." The officer gave him a hard look. "Plans changed. You'll be working as a pair now. She's already been briefed." "She?" James asked. The man didn't answer. He just pointed down the hall and walked away. James found Briefing Room 2 and opened the door. And there she was. Sitting silently at the table was a tall figure in a sleek dark suit. Her skin was smooth and silver blue. Her eyes glowed faintly, and her hair shimmered like strands of metal. She looked young, but not human. James paused in the doorway. The alien woman turned her head slowly and looked straight at him. Her face showed no emotion. He stepped inside. "Lieutenant James Keller," he said, trying to sound confident. She stood up and spoke in perfect English. "I am Sira of Velari. I will be your companion for Mission Delta X." James blinked. "You speak English?" "I was programmed with your language system this morning," she replied calmly. Before he could ask more, the command screen lit up. The voice of Commander Hurst came through. "Lieutenant Keller, meet Sira, your new mission partner. She's not just here to help. She's here to keep you alive." James crossed his arms. "And what exactly is she?" There was a pause. Then the voice answered, "Classified. All you need to know is trust her." "That's an order." The screen went dark. James looked at Sira. She looked at him. "This is insane," he muttered. "I didn't sign up to babysit an alien science experiment." Sira tilted her head slightly. "I do not require babysitting. You, however, may need saving." James stared at her, unsure if she was joking or serious. The mission briefing began. Their task was simple: scout a series of deep caves on planet Voss 13. Report any movement. Stay hidden. Do not engage. The area was known for strange energy readings and missing patrols. Departure is in 0600 hours, Sira said after reading the data. "I will prepare." James followed her to the docking bay. He kept stealing glances at her. She moved with perfect balance. "No noise, no hesitation. I don't even know what you are," he finally said. Sara didn't stop walking. "I am hybrid born. My creators were Velari, and ... another." "That doesn't help," James muttered. Sira paused at the ship ramp. "You do not need to understand me to survive. You only need to listen." James almost laughed. "I don't follow orders from strangers." "Then we are both in danger," Sira replied quietly. The next morning, they launched. The shuttle flew low over the forest world of Voss 13. Thick clouds hung over jagged mountains. Nothing moved below them. Inside the cockpit, silence filled the air. James tried to break it. "So, do you eat food, or charge like a battery?" "I eat," Sira said without looking at him. "Good. That means you're half normal." Suddenly, the ship jerked. Warning lights flashed. Something exploded outside. James grabbed the controls. "We're hit." Sira didn't panic. She pressed a single button, and a shield flared around the ship. The flames died out. James stared at her. "How did you—" "Hostile mines. I disabled them," she said calmly. The shuttle landed hard, skidding on the dirt. Smoke hissed from the side. James opened the hatch and stepped out, scanning the trees. No movement. "We're lucky." Then he heard it, a sharp, high-pitched sound like a scream far away. His hand went to his blaster. Sierra stepped beside him. "Something is watching." James turned quickly. "What do you mean?" But Sierra didn't answer. Her eyes glowed a little brighter. James felt the hairs on his neck rise. Then, without warning, Sierra grabbed him and shoved him to the ground. Boom! Explosion ripped through the air right where he had been standing. James coughed and looked up at her. You just saved my life." She stared down at him. "I told you." "Trust me." The forest of Vos 13 was too quiet. Lieutenant James Keller walked behind Sierra as they moved through thick trees, scanning the area with his visor. There were no birds, no animals, no wind, just the soft crunch of their boots on the ground. It was unnatural. Sierra suddenly raised her hand, and they stopped. Her glowing eyes narrowed. "What is it?" James whispered. She didn't answer. Instead, she pointed toward a black cliff in the distance. Cave entrance. "It was not here in the satellite scan," she said quietly. "That's not possible." James said, "It showed nothing." "Then something moved," she replied. James stared at the cliff, feeling a strange chill in his spine. They reached the cave just before sunset. Sierra placed a small orb on the ground. It lit up with a pale blue glow. The entrance was wide but deep. Even with the light, it looked endless. "We set up camp here?" James asked. "No," she replied. "Too exposed. We sleep inside." James frowned. Sleep in a creepy alien cave? Great idea. But Sierra was already walking inside with no choice. He followed. They found a dry spot behind a stone wall and laid out emergency bedding. Sierra sat cross-legged with her eyes closed, breathing slow. James sat opposite her, watching. "You don't even blink, do you?" She didn't respond. He sighed and leaned back. "You don't talk much." Still nothing. But a few hours later, James woke with a start. There was a sound, a soft clicking. Like claws on rock. He looked over. Sierra was gone. "Damn it," he muttered. Grabbing his flashlight and sidearm, he followed the noise deeper into the cave. Soon he saw light ahead. Crept closer. And froze. Sierra stood in the center of a hidden chamber, glowing softly. She wasn't alone. In front of her was a tall shadow. Its skin shimmered black like oil. It had no eyes, only slits across its face. It tilted its head. Sierra was talking to it. Not with words, but with strange clicking sounds, fast and musical. James raised his blaster. His heart pounded. But he didn't move. Suddenly, the creature looked directly at him. No eyes. But it saw him. The light in the cave vanished. James shouted, turned around, and ran. The path twisted. The cave felt like it was changing. Breathing, he stumbled out into the original tunnel, sweating. And then Sierra stepped out from the shadows, her face calm. No wounds, no fear. "You followed me," she said. "What the hell was that thing?" James shouted. "A watcher," she replied. "That was no watcher. I saw it. It looked wrong." Sierra shook her head. "You were not ready. That one will not harm you. You spoke to it. How?" James asked, his voice trembling. "I understand them," she said. "They are old. They live in places like this. They sense danger, and they are watching, not us, but something deeper." James sat down against the wall, trying to calm his breathing. "Next time, tell me before you vanish," he said. "I was protecting you," she answered. James looked up at her. "That's what everyone keeps saying. But no one tells me the truth." Sierra sat beside him. There was a long silence. Then she whispered, "There are things in this galaxy that don't care about war or peace or humans. They just watch and wait." James looked into her glowing eyes. For the first time, he saw something different in her expression. Asterisk. The next morning, James woke up to silence. Syrah was already standing, looking at the cave entrance. "We leave now," she said without turning. James rubbed his eyes. "No good morning, huh?" She didn't smile. She never smiled. Outside, the mist was thick. The forest looked even darker than before. Strange shadows moved in the fog, but when James blinked, they were gone as they walked. He kept his hand near his blaster. "I don't understand you," he said finally. "That is acceptable," she replied. "No, it's not. I've worked with aliens before. Some are weird, some are cold, but you're hiding something." Syrah stopped walking. She turned slowly to face him. "Would you like the truth?" James nodded. She stepped closer, her voice soft. "I was not created in one place. I was born from two enemies. One was Valari, the other, a species your people once feared." James frowned. "Which species?" She didn't answer. Instead, she raised her hand and pressed her fingers to her temple. A small beam of light shined from her skin, like a memory. James saw it. A dark lab. Creatures in armor. Screaming. Metal arms. Liquid light. She pulled her hand away. The image vanished. James stepped back, heart racing. "That's illegal tech. That's forbidden's gene splicing." She looked down. "I was built for war, but I ran away." "Why me?" James asked. "Why did you choose me?" Syrah looked him in the eyes. "Because when I looked into your record, you never left a teammate behind, not even once." James was quiet. "Command didn't assign me to you," she continued. "I did." Before he could respond, the ground shook. Boom. An explosion in the distance. Trees split. Birds scattered. James grabbed his scanner. "Blast signature plasma-based. Military tech. We're not alone." Syrah stared toward the smoke. "They're here," she whispered. "Who?" James asked. She didn't reply. She was already running. They reached a clearing. Smoke filled the air. 2 scout drones lay in pieces. A dead soldier, a human, was pinned against a tree, burned. James cursed. "It's Recon Team 4. They vanished last week." Then his radio buzzed. Static. Then a voice. "Lieutenant Keller, come in. This is command. We've received a threat. Unknown ships are heading toward your location. Estimated contact in 1 hour." James responded. "Who's coming?" Static again. Then one word came through clearly. "Collectors." James froze. Collectors weren't just enemies. They were nightmares, known for taking living bodies. For experiments. They didn't speak. They didn't bargain. He turned to Syrah. Her face had gone pale. Her voice was a whisper. "They found me." James stared. "Wait, you think they're after you?" "I know they are," she said. "They built me. They want me back." James shook his head. "No, we're not giving you up." "You don't understand," she said quickly. "They won't stop. They'll burn this forest, kill everyone on this planet, just to get me." James took a step forward. "Then we make a stand." She looked at him like she didn't believe it. "You would fight them?" she asked. "For me?" "You saved my life twice," James said. "That's enough for me." Syrah looked away. "No one ever said that to me before." A long silence followed. Then she touched her chest. A soft hum filled the air. Light flickered through the skin on her neck. James raised an eyebrow. "What are you doing?" "Unlocking my real weapon," she said. Asterisk the humming from Syrah's. Body grew louder. James stepped back, unsure if he should draw his weapon or trust her. Then her skin began to glow. Soft at first, then brighter. Lines appeared across her arms and neck, like ancient circuitry buried under skin. Syrah dropped to one knee. She was in pain. James rushed to her. "What's happening?" Her voice was tight. "I sealed it for years, but the lock is breaking. They're close." "The collectors?" James asked. She nodded, her breathing shallow. "They implanted something inside me, a living core. It holds energy. Dangerous energy. I've hidden it for so long." James frowned. "What kind of energy?" "Ancient," she whispered. "It was made from a dying star, and something worse." He didn't understand, but he saw the fear in her eyes now. Real fear. Not the cold, calm mask she always wore. "Why didn't you tell command?" He asked. "They would have killed me," she said. "Dissected me. Called me a weapon, not a person." James looked away. She was right. That's exactly what they would have done. Sira fell to the ground. Trembling, James caught her. She grabbed his arm tightly. "You need to. Go, now." "Not a chance," he said. "They will track me. I can feel it. The core is waking up." James looked around. Trees were shaking again. He heard low rumbles in the skyships entering the atmosphere. "No escape," he muttered. "Not unless we outsmart them." Sira looked weak, but her eyes were sharp. "There's a bunker. North Ridge. Hidden by my kind centuries ago. Number. Scanner can see it." "Then that's where we go," James said, helping her to her feet. They moved fast, pushing through thick underbrush. James supported her with one arm, his other hand on his blaster. The rumbling in the sky grew louder. James looked up. 3 shadow ships passed overhead, long, black, and silent. "Sira." "They're here." She didn't answer. Her skin pulsed. Brighter. Suddenly, a sharp sound cut through the air like glass breaking. Sira dropped again, grabbing her chest. They activated the core remotely. James knelt beside her. "What do I do? Tell me." She opened her eyes. "You must protect me until we reach the bunker. If they take me now, they'll use the core to destroy planets." James stared. "What?" "They built me as a trigger," she said. "One thought, and whole cities burn." James felt the cold settle in his chest. "You're saying you're a bomb?" "I'm saying I'm more," she whispered. "But yes, if I fall into their hands, millions could die." James swallowed hard. Then he stood. "Then we fight." "No," she said weakly. "You run. Hide me. That is the only way." He looked at her, eyes firm. "We do it together." The sound of engines roared behind them. Figures appeared in the trees, tall, black-armored shapes with silver helmets. Their limbs moved like liquid. Weapons glowed on their arms. Collectors. James fired. Blue plasma bolts flashed through the forest. Sira forced herself to stand. Her glow pulsed like a heartbeat. "Don't use the core?" James said. "I'm trying not to," she replied. Ran again. James dropped explosives behind them. The forest shook as the charges blew. Trees fell. Finally, they reached a rocky ridge. Sira placed her glowing hand on a large boulder. A symbol appeared. The stone split open. A dark tunnel lay beyond. They slipped inside. As the stone closed behind them, Sira collapsed. James caught her. Her skin was hot like fire. "Bunker sealed," she said, gasping. "They can't see us now." "But they'll search." James looked at her carefully. "Is the core going to kill you?" "Maybe," she whispered. James sat beside her and took her hand gently. "No one told me this mission would be like this," he said softly. "No one told me my partner was a weapon or a person worth dying for." Sira turned her head. For the first time, she smiled. The bunker walls hummed quietly. Thick stone and alien metal kept the outside world away. But not for long. James sat beside Sira, watching her chest rise and fall slowly. She looked calm, but he knew better. Every hour, the light from her skin grew dimmer. And outside, the collectors were searching. He checked his com. Still nothing from command. Still no backup. He turned to her. Can you walk? Sierra opened her eyes. Yes, but not for long. James handed her a water pack. We'll hold them off. I've set mines on the ridge. If they try to come in. She interrupted. They will. They always do. James swallowed. Then we make them regret it. Suddenly, a sharp sound echoed through the stone. Boom. The air shook. James jumped to his feet. Explosives triggered, he said. They found the entrance. Another explosion. The wall cracked slightly. Dust fell from the ceiling. Sierra stood slowly, her balance weak. If I use the core, they all die, including you. James looked at her. Then don't use it. We'll protect each other. A red warning light flashed on the bunker console. Breach detected. He drew his blaster. Here we go. The wall exploded. Inward, smoke, fire, and then shadows moved in. Tall, silent, smooth. Armor and glowing eyes. Collectors. One stepped forward. Its voice was robotic, cold. Return the hybrid. No harm will come to you. James raised his weapon. Yeah, I've heard that before. Sierra stepped beside him, her hand glowing faintly. The collector paused. Her core belongs to us. The agreement is clear. She is. Not alive. She is property. James took a step forward. Say that again? I dare you? The collector raised its weapon. James fired first. The plasma bolt hit the collector's helmet, cracking it but not stopping it. More followed. The bunker became a war zone. James moved fast, using cover, tossing grenades. 2 collectors fell, but then one charged him fast and silent. It knocked him back against the wall. He tried to get up, but the creature stepped on his chest. You failed, it said. Sierra screamed. Her eyes blazed white. The air shook. The collector turned just as Sierra raised her hand. A beam of light shot from her palm, hitting the enemy in the chest. The creature froze, then shattered into dust. James stared in shock. She had never used that power before. Sierra stood, breathing hard, her whole body glowing now. They won't stop, she said. They'll send more. James got to his feet. Then we send a message. They ran to the control panel. James activated the bunker's last defense system. A magnetic pulse field. Sierra linked her core into the grid. You sure about this? He asked. She nodded. It will burn out part of the core, but it will work. James touched her shoulder. We'll get through this. She gave him one last look, then pressed her hand on the panel. The bunker shook violently. A giant wave of energy pulsed out in every direction, white, blue, and gold. The blast swept across the ridge into the trees, hitting every collector unit like a hammer. Outside, the enemy ships blinked and lost power, then fell from the sky. Silence returned. Inside, Sierra collapsed. James caught her in his arms. Her glow was almost gone. Hey, he whispered, stay with me. Her voice was quiet. Core is sleeping. I am tired. James held her tightly. You're safe now. We're both safe. She blinked slowly. You chose me. Always, he said. The storm outside was gone. Smoke rose from broken trees. Collector ships lay in pieces across the forest. No signals. No more enemies. But inside the bunker, it was too quiet. James held Sierra in his arms. She was barely breathing. Her skin flickered like a dying flame. He pressed his forehead to hers. You're going to be okay. I promise. Her lips moved, but the words were weak. I used too much. Core fading. No, James said. Don't say that. Sierra looked at him, her eyes dull now, but still full of something. Something human. Do you regret it? She asked. Coming here, choosing me. James shook his head. Not even for a second. Footsteps echoed through the tunnel. James raised his blaster, but lowered it when he saw the armor. Human soldiers. Earth's reinforcements had finally arrived. A medic rushed in. "We've got her." "Hold tight." Sierra was lifted carefully onto a stretcher. Her eyes never left James. As the team treated her, a tall officer approached James. He had gray hair and a cold stare. "Lieutenant Keller," the man said. "I read your report." James nodded slowly. "She saved this planet." The officer didn't look impressed. "You disobeyed orders. You made contact with a classified hybrid. You withheld intelligence, and you risked a high-value target." James took a step forward. "She's not a target. She's a person. And if I had to do it again, I would." The officer stared at him, then handed him a small data chip. "This is for you," he said. "What is it?" James asked. "Your next orders." James looked confused. "I thought I was suspended." "You were," the officer replied. "But the council has made a decision based on Sierra's actions. She's been granted personhood status." James blinked. "She's free?" "Not quite, but she will be. There's just one condition." "What is it?" "She needs someone to watch over her while she recovers. Someone we trust. Someone she trusts." James didn't hesitate. "I accept." 3 weeks later, SI-RA sat under a metal tree on the green fields of a peaceful recovery planet. She wore simple clothes, now no armor, no suit, no mask. Her glow was faint, but warm. James sat beside her, handing her a small box. She opened it. Inside was a necklace, silver and blue, shaped like a sun and a star touching. She held it gently. "What does it mean?" James smiled. "It's from Earth. It means you are not alone." She looked at him. "You still trust me?" she asked softly. He nodded. "With my life." Sierra smiled this time, fully, and she leaned her head against his shoulder. And for the first time since the mission began, James felt peace.